You look at that clip of her, you can see that there is no internal joy coming out.
Okay, today we have Candace Owens and Amani Talks. If you don't know who Amani Talks is, she is a popular TikToker that posts her opinions on dating, women, and men issues. Well, recently she went viral for making a video stating she does not want kids.
You think you have kids?
I'm not having kids.
What you mean you're not having kids?
I'm not having kids.
That's what you was born here to do.
No, I'm not.
Why would you not want to have kids?
Why would I?
I'm asking you.
Why don't I want to have kids? I don't see any benefit.
For giving somebody life?
You have a kid and your life becomes about the kid. I want my life to be about me.
Oh, you selfish.
That's okay.
Well, Candace
Wortham talking about just that. Take a listen. All right. Well, I think you can say at least Amani Wortham is honest. She's admitting to the fact that she is selfish and she wants her life to be about her. Now, if you look at the comments under this post, people are applauding her. They're saying, yay, absolutely, good for you. And by the way, I don't want to say to some woman who is this selfish, is admittedly selfish, that she should have children, even though obviously I believe the gentleman is right. I believe that having children is our divine purpose as women. I don't think there's anything that you can get from life that is not going to bring you more satisfaction and completion than having a child. But again, not going to encourage someone like her to have children. But that's not all Amani has to say. She also holds a very derogatory view of men. Take a listen.
What do you look for in a man?
I don't look for anything in a man. I don't look for a man.
I mean, when you meet a man, you talk to him.
I don't look for nothing in a man.
So what's happening here? Now it sounds like it's not only children that she doesn't want, but she doesn't even want to have a meaningful relationship.
When has Amani said she doesn't want a meaningful relationship in her life?
She holds a bad view of men altogether. We've seen this before. You know,
Amani had something to say.
So y'all, why I hop online today, and the first thing I'm seeing are notifications from people saying, girl, Candace Owens is talking about you on her YouTube. I'm like, what? I love Candace Owens, so let me go see what she's talking about.
But we also are starting to see conversations and podcasters, a lot of women talking about why they simply don't want children. Here's a podcaster named Amani Wortham talking about just that. Take a listen.
When you think you have kids?
I'm not having kids.
What you mean you're not having kids?
I'm not having kids.
That's what you was born here to do.
No, I'm not.
Why would you not want to have kids?
Why would I?
Well, I think you can say at least Amani Wortham is honest. She's admitting to the fact that she is selfish and she wants her life to be about her.
Now, we all know that Candace Owens is very conservative, and conservatives and weird men love telling women what to do with their bodies, right? But my whole thing is, Candace, if having children is so great and that's the only purpose that you had in your life, why do you have your show? Oh, so being a mommy wasn't the only thing you wanted to do. Oh, okay, let's keep going.
But that's not all Amani has to say. She also holds a very derogatory view of men. Take a listen.
But what do you look for in a man?
I don't look for anything in a man. I don't look for a man.
Now it sounds like it's not only children that she doesn't want, but she doesn't even want to have a meaningful relationship. She holds a bad view of men altogether. We've seen this.
Are men good people? Okay, let's talk about it. Do they not make up the perpetrators of most domestic violence cases? Are they not the serial killers, the rapists? Let's really get into it. Do they not uphold patriarchy that is harmful to women and children every single day? Are they not the ones molesting children? Are they not the ones shooting up schools? But even knowing all that stuff, I still push for marriage for people because I know that healthy, positive relationships and marriages do still exist. So let's talk about that. Well, we don't even got to talk about that. Let's get into what she said lastly.
And by the way, when you look at that clip of her, you can see that there is no internal joy coming out of her. This is not a happy woman that is speaking. I know it's supposed to be sold to you as this is INDEPE, independent.
Candace knows she wanted to start rapping that song.
Independent woman. She's confident as well. No, none of those things are happening. What I'm sensing is actually a deep internal sadness.
Candy girl, I got joy every day of my life. I get to wake up and decide to do with my day what I please every single day. I don't gotta do nothing that nobody tell me to do. I also have joy in my life because Jesus Christ died on the cross for me. Do you have joy in your life with your white husband? Okay, so let's focus on that. But you know what? Even though I said all that, I like Candace Owens. That's the crazy everything. I like Candace Owens.
Hey, good to see you.
For real, for real. And Candace Owens, if you're ever in the Atlanta area, I would absolutely love for you to guest on my podcast, on my Let's Talk It Out on my Patreon. I would love it. People would love it. I would love it. I think we would have more in common than what you think. I mean, if you don't agree with my content, that's one thing. But don't presume to act like you know who I am, saying,
No, seriously. How are you going to say this girl is not happy?
I see a very sad woman. Let's sit down and have a conversation that's so that you can form an educated opinion. Because anybody can say what they want on the internet, but let's not look crazy, okay? All right? So come on down to Atlanta. Amani Talks, I'll host you. It'll be a great conversation. People would love it.
Okay, let me know what you think about this situation in the comment section. We're going to hear what TikTok has to say.
You look at that clip of her, you can see that there is no internal joy coming out of her.
No, Candace, that's you. I don't ever see you have a genuine smile. All I see you do is go on these miserable rants all damn day. Life has way more to offer women nowadays than being a mother and being stuck in a damn house. You drop that baby first, and then you see how it is.
It's actually a deep internal sadness.
Candy girl, I got joy every day of my life.
This is the issue that I have a bit with Candace. Don't get me wrong, I watch her, she's very entertaining, but when we see children who are being abused and who are being neglected emotionally, physically, and financially, we sit there and usually go along with the lines of they don't deserve children. This is a good example that not everyone deserves to have children. My thing is, why does it have to get to the point to bring children to make these statements? I do believe that bad people are going to have children regardless. It's very hard to spot them in millions and millions of people. And I'm not sitting here and saying that the creator that she is responding to, Candace, thinks that she's going to be a terrible mother. But people do not understand how much self-awareness, reflection, and maturity it takes to make a decision to say, children are not for me. You give up being selfish, and though that is viewed as a positive thing, people forget that it eats you up in the inside and you lose an identity of yourself because you are putting so much time and attention to something else that isn't you, and that's where moms forget to take care of themselves. It takes a lot of maturity and acknowledging that motherhood just wouldn't be a good fit for you, knowing that, you know, you probably wouldn't give your 100% to a kid. And I understand why she would promote all women to be mothers. Candace, you're rich, babe. You're able to afford 4 or 5 children. And I don't think this would be the last pregnancy that we see from you. Her baby that's freshly newborn, by the way, may I add, is probably in the hands of a nanny or a family member. Some women don't have that. We know it's a financial, draining of someone's pocket to even have a child. Don't get me wrong, I find fulfillment just like Candace in being a mom. But I became a young mom. I became a mom in literally last year. I'm in my early 20s. Of course I find purpose and fulfillment, but a part of me still thinks and feels, and those feelings are valid, that damn, I could have done more. I'm not sitting here and saying that children are a burden, but they make life difficult. Your whole schedule in life is on that kid. Traveling with them in the scary world is just not for everybody. It's very reckless. I saw an interview once of a mom who went on a podcast and said, if I could turn back the time and not have my kids, I would. Because some women are not built for motherhood. I love my kid. I would not change a thing. To sit there and call a woman saying that, oh, she's sad. She's so sad because she doesn't have kids. Again, it makes sense, Katniss, that you find fulfillment in being a mom. I'm not sitting here and diminishing her role as a mom, but the fact that you're rich, able to afford daycare and nannies, you're able to go on college campuses and talk and give speech, have a podcast, do any businesses outside of that, videos and everything that is in between. How do you have the time to do that? You are able to have the time because you are able to pay for time. Unlike me, I have to find the time. You get to enjoy being a mom at the best moments at times, because you get to be able to do your makeup every day, do your hair, do your maintenance, do things that find more purpose in your life, like your podcast and talking to college campuses and trying to make a difference. Some moms do not have that, so it just makes sense that you would promote motherhood to everyone because your life is great. If you want kids, great. If you don't want kids, great.
I think you can say at least Amani Wortham is honest. She's admitting to the fact that she is selfish.
Way to go, Candace. Way to use those shaming tactics to try to shame women into having children that they say they do not want to have. Let's just let women do what they want to do. If women want to have a family and have children, let's let them do that. If they say, no, I'm not participating in that activity, I don't want to, there's nothing about it that is attractive to me or that sounds good or would make me happy, let's just go with that. Why do we have to shame them? The fact that she's shaming these women that make a conscious decision not to become mothers is wild. Because if you remember back to when the Supreme Court was in the midst of making that decision regarding women's bodies and a woman's choice to choose, Candace was saying, it shouldn't be a problem for you. If you don't want to have a baby, there's many ways not to have a baby. If you don't want to be pregnant, all you have to do is abstain from activities that'll get you pregnant or just not get pregnant. Well, now that they put the ban in many states on a woman's right to choose, she's saying, if you don't get pregnant, you're selfish. If you don't want to have a man or a husband, you're selfish. That's crazy. Living your life the way you choose to live your life is not a problem. You are the only person that can tell yourself what's going to make you happy, what's going to fulfill your life. Furthermore, I was watching another Candace Owens video where Candace Owens talks about this lady that actually tried to go on a website to find someone to take her child out of the earth. And Candace was like, this is despicable. This is horrible. And yes, it absolutely is despicable and horrible. No woman should do that. But I would say that woman was a great candidate for not having children, for making the conscious decision to never birth a child into this world. It's better to not birth the child than birth the child and then do something crazy after the child gets here. So basically, Candace is a bunch of talking points. Ladies, please don't mind her. I don't care if you're conservative or liberal or whatever you are. If you're a woman, don't listen to Candace Owens. She about this issue in particular. She is just doing way too much.
Hey, you guys let me know what you think about the commentary of these ladies on this topic. I personally don't see the issue with a woman deciding they do not want children. I for sure cringe when Candace said, Amani is selfish. I think having children knowing you do not want them is actually what's selfish. Let me know your thoughts.